Alright, guys, I'll be giving you hints on how to make a distinction in any course, in any subject without stress. So, number one, you create a possibility mindset. Creating that possibility mindset is extremely important. And another thing is you surround yourself with people that have that possibility mindset. It's one thing to have that possibility mindset. You also need some people, external strength, external force to keep you on track. You know that even when you're feeling tired, feeling weak, who can strengthen me, who can encourage me. You need people of possibility mindset around you, environment that can charge you up, that can make you feel like, no, I still need to do better than I have done. It's very, very important. Alright, so on that list, set a target, set that target and be like, this is where I'm going, and then I'm going there, and you just have the target. Because if you don't have a target, you can be swayed off. One of my friends in school will say that, oh boy, I know what I find come school, not waiting find me come school. So if you don't know what you're looking for in school, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. That's a campus life for you, that's school life for you. Nobody will tell you go to class. Nobody will tell you that wake up, it's time for lecture. Nobody even have your time. So you have to be decisive enough. You have to be focused enough. So set your target and know what you're doing. The next thing is you detail that target. Now you already have a target. You already know that this is what you want to do. This is what you want to hit. This is whatever you want to do. So detail the target. Know that from 80 to 100 or 85 to 100 is distinction. From this to that, you already know. Break it down for okay, how can I hit this distinction? Okay, in my school, 60 is for examination, 30 is for test, and then 10 is for attendance, 10 marks for attendance. So what do you do? How do I hit that? How do I make sure that this is achieved? Okay, I make sure that I attend every class so I can meet 10 marks, because every mark is important. One mark can make you a distinction student and stop you from also making a distinction. Imagine you have 84 and it's just one mark that just limited, that just stopped you from having that distinction. So my guys, don't play with any mark. Don't assume that this one is just attendance. It doesn't mean it. Means a lot. Now the next thing is you look at, okay, test 30 mark. Let me try my best to hit 30 on dot. I don't want to have anything less than 30. It's possible, extremely possible. So once you have that 30 marks, even if you cannot hit 30 marks, let's say you fall between 29 or 28, you're still on the safer side, and then your exam, you have another target again that I want to hit 60. You might be wondering how possible is that. Why I'm asking you to do that is because when you shoot at the moon, you fall among the stars. Do you understand what I mean? When you shoot at 100, you also fall on distinction. If you shoot at 85, because distinction starts from 85, I bet you have limited chance of having that distinction. You might eventually have 84. So please, don't limit your capacity. Don't limit yourself that 80 is too, 100 is too much for me. If you limit yourself, then you are telling the brain that it is not possible. Understand that in as much as you have those targets set, you have detailed your target, there are still a lot of things that can still limit you if you don't know how studying works. The moment you start the semester or the term, what you need to do is start studying instantly. Don't waste time at all. Don't say that we still have 12 weeks. Before you know it, time is going to meet you up. So guys, don't waste time. The moment the semester or the term starts, you start studying immediately. Take it little by little, one after the other, and you find out that you cover more. Don't wait till 2 weeks to the end of the semester or 2 weeks to exam before you start studying for exam. That's when you see some people going for night classes, going for overnight study. It doesn't warrant that serious stress to actually have a distinction. And some people going to church prayers, they spend 80% of their time praying, and then they spend 20% studying. That's foolishness. Bible did not teach us that. When you want to study. Bible says, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needed not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings, he shall not stand before men. When you take all the time to pray and take less time to study, you will fail. You will fail honorably. God will punish you seriously for failing, because you are disobeying his commandment. When you spend more time studying and you've done your own part, just committing to the cause and God, I've done this part, I've done this and that, please help me. Give me retentive memory. You don't need prayer of, oh God, every power from my mother's house, after you have not read. I've not said I apply every power from your mother. They will come, they will follow you to the exam hall. In fact, when you enter exam hall, you will sleep because you have not taken enough rest. Some of you will read overnight. You have not studied from the beginning of the semester. Then when it's a night to exam, you start studying and you're not saying that powers are following you. Why would they not follow you? Because powers of your father's house, of your mother's house, they've seen that this is the best time to strike. You know, they are so strategic. It's like, oh, this guy has read overnight. He thinks he wants to pass. He will be so weak. This is when we need to strike. And they strike you, and then they say, the power from my mother's house. They will come for you. That's not the right thing. That's wrong priority. Take enough time to study from the beginning of the semester, from the beginning of the term, and then when it's time for exam, take a rest, enter the exam hall and pass. Even if power from your mother's house want to strike at that time, we will know now that, okay, Ogbeni, this is real power from the mother's house, power from the winches of this and this. Let's leave those ones. And let's face reality. You are failing because you have failed to do what you're supposed to do. And then you are blaming it on powers. If devil even catch you, he will beat you because why will you be blaming me? What have I done to you? You to go and study. Devil will even beat you. Okay, go and study and stop blaming me for your failure. There are some theories that a lot of people don't understand that it's very important, and there's theory of forgetting theory. By one of the theories is by I think Edward Thorndike. Yeah. And one of the theories he mentioned was trace decay theory. It has to do with time. That is, once you read something and you leave it for a long time, you don't go by it, you tend to forget those things in bits. Before you know, you forget everything. That's trace decay theory. Another theory is displacement theory. This displacement theory has to do with the short-term memory. Once you put an information and then, because it's temporarily stored in the brain, you need to go over it over and over again before bringing in new information. So when you don't go over that thing, you don't read it, you don't study it again, you tend to forget as you bring in new information, because the new information automatically displaces the old one. Just like your storage device, when you bring in a new information, you find out that the recent one is displayed first. That's how it is too in the brain. So understand this concept. Some of them will help you, will make you understand that this is how I need to study, this is who I am. I understood this as well. In fact, I knew my weakness, and that's another thing. You also need to know your strengths and weaknesses. I found out that I'm very good at calculation, and then when I hit calculation like this, it's always hot for me, like I'm always boiling. It's always very interesting. But when it's time to study, read textbooks that has to do with define characteristics, it's always very stressful. I'm always afraid. So I make sure that I spend more time on those ones. And then in fact, some of the textbooks, then I finish them 2 or 3 times just because I didn't want to fail it. I had a target that time in my first year in school. I was like, once I enter school, I want to hit distinction 5.0. In fact, everywhere I was going. On my Bible, then I wrote 5.0. On the book I was reading in school, I wrote 5.0. Everywhere. My brother's place, I wrote 5.0. On my personal timetable, I pasted it. As I entered there, I'll be seeing 5.0. So it was like everything around me was reading 5.0. But it's unfortunate I couldn't hit 5.0 that first year. I hit 4.9. I wrote 9 courses, and the first course A, second one A, third one A, fifth one, up till the 8th one I had A. Then the 9th one I had B. It was kind of, but I knew I did my best. So it's all about your decision. Create that mindset, that possibility mindset, and you find out that it becomes so possible. There's nothing difficult. If you have that mentality of impossible, like there's nothing impossible, you will find out that things will work out fine, because the word itself says I'm possible. So please have that mindset, and I will see you in my next video to also encourage you more on other things that has to do with academics and probably some other areas. Thank you very much for listening to this very, very interesting speech. Stay cool.